OMG, welcome back to my channel. So excited that you are here. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I appreciate you. It's Jody Dunn, and I am not coming at you with a haul video today. Unfortunately, I had something not so fun happen to me, but I thought this is a great time to go ahead and share this experience with you, because it could help one of you. If you are new and you just found me, so happy that you are here. Would you please say hello to me and let me know that you are new? Right down there, I would love to welcome you to the channel and say hello back to you. And if you are already subscribed, thank you so much for coming back to another video. I appreciate you. Okay, so if you've been following the channel, then you probably know that I am mainly a drugstore couponer. I love couponing at the drugstores. It's just so fantastic and so lucrative as a couponer to do so. And unfortunately, I had one of my drugstore accounts, not one, multiple accounts, get hacked. And that is such a bummer when it happens. I am absolutely not the first creator that this has ever happened to, nor will I be the last creator that this has ever happened to. And even if you're not a creator, there is still a risk that your accounts can get hacked. And I've actually had, subscribers comment that don't make content that have had their accounts hacked. And it's such a bummer and it's so frustrating. So it doesn't even matter which drugstore accounts got hacked. Just one of the drugstore accounts got hacked and they got totally drained. So the first thing that I had to do after, of course, going through, being frustrated and being mad that that happened to me, which is a normal human emotion, I let that go very, very quickly. I had to ask myself the hard question that is really hard for a lot of people to ask themselves, and a lot of people don't ask themselves. What part did I play in this happening that I could have avoided? Because we never want to think that something that we didn't want to happen could have been avoided or even potentially partially our fault. It's not my fault that it happened. I didn't want this to happen, but what could I have done? This is a great, great learning experience for me. And I know it's going to sound weird, but I'm grateful that it happened because it's allowing me to share this experience with you and hopefully helping you to avoid this ever happening to you. So the part I played in this was I just did not take enough precautions to avoid this from happening. We all know, if we are drugstore couponers, that when you go into the drugstore, I would say CVS is probably the one that is a little teeny bit more challenging to hack. But still, I know so many people that have had their CVS accounts hacked. So it's definitely not like a hard thing to do. But the one thing with CVS is that if you don't automatically load your extra care bucks to your account, somebody would actually have to get access to like your online account to be able to load them and use them. But with Walgreens and with Rite, it's as simple as going into the drugstore, typing in your phone number, and your rewards are already loaded to your account and available to use. So somebody simply only has to have your phone number. And as somebody that comes from a background of high security, because I was in banking for a long time and I saw all kinds of scams happening every single day, I did not take the proper precautions to avoid this from happening. So both fortunately and unfortunately, we are in a time of so many things being digital and information so readily available. So it is fairly easy for anybody to go ahead and search your personal information. We also are in a time where we have a super high inflation. We don't have a lot of people that are actual couponers because couponing can be very intimidating to a lot of people. And desperate times, what's the saying? Desperate times call for desperate measures. And I'm just going to think that somebody that was really, really hard on their luck and just maybe needed diapers for their babies or needed food for their family just took it upon themselves to figure out a way to do it with my drugstore money. And I hope that they got what they needed, and I'm going to pray for them for sure. But I want to walk you through the steps that I took to fix this in case this ever happens to you. And heavens, if you are a content creator, please take these steps. This is not something that you think about when you're first signing up for a drugstore account. Of course, you just use your personal information. I know there are so many people that make content that talk about the fact that it's fake money, it's store money, which I do say store money, but it's not fake money to me. And obviously, if it was fake, nobody would be trying to steal it. So it's real money that can only be spent at the drugstore. And again, I'm not the first person that's ever had their drugstore accounts hacked and drained, and I won't be the last one, unfortunately. So if you are a content creator, please take these steps now. Even if you're not like worried that this is going to happen to you, this was not something I was worried about. I'm just going to be real with you. I don't have a brain that thinks like that. I should. More. I take caution when it comes to my finances and things like that, but I just wasn't viewing it, even though I view drugstore rewards as real money because I can purchase real products with them. I wasn't viewing it the same way. Let me tell you about something that happened to me recently too. But if you're a content creator, please take these measures. And even if you're not a content creator, highly recommend you take these measures that I'm going to walk through with you. So I recently had a credit card that I had to shut down and, called the fraud department and everything, but it was the oddest fraud that I've ever experienced. And being in banking, I saw a lot of fraud happening. I don't think I ever saw this particular fraud happening. So let me just tell you what happened. So I went to make a payment on a credit card and I noticed that there was a bank account added to my credit card that was not mine. And I was like, that is so weird. Why would somebody has my information and they hacked into my credit card account, but they added a bank account. So then I go looking through my transaction history and I see a $10 payment was made on my credit card from this new bank account that is not mine. And I was like, that is the weirdest thing ever. And so I go searching through all of my transaction history to make sure that I don't have any fraudulent transactions. And I did not. Then I noticed my cash back rewards were gone. So they got into my account somehow. They added a bank account to it, made a $10 payment, and then withdrew my cash back rewards. It was less than $30. So it wasn't like I had a ton of cash back rewards on my account, but I would have never, ever thought of that. So just another thing to think about. It's a good idea to be changing your passwords out frequently. I know that's a pain, but it is more of a pain to have to deal with shutting down accounts, having to call customer service, and doing all those things. So if we can do those things beforehand to prevent it as much as possible, that's always going to be the easier route to go. So let me walk through with you what I had to do and how I fixed this so hopefully it will never happen again.
Okay, so the first thing that I did was I set up free phone numbers. There are so many apps out there that you can go and get a second phone number for totally free. And although there is really nothing that is 100% secure. These are far less easy to search than your actual phone numbers. And they can receive phone calls and text messages. So here are just a free few ones, but definitely Google and search. There's one that's called Text Free. There's one that's called Text Now. There's another one called Talk a Tone, which I was actually familiar with because I can remember when I first started couponing at Dollar General and I wanted to have multiple accounts and I didn't have multiple phone numbers. I did it this way. And then there's Google Voice. These are all free to download and you can get a free phone number using them. And there are many, many more that you can Google and search for and figure out which one would be the best for you. All right, so now I took the first step, which was to create a burner phone number or something, a free phone number, something like that. The second step I took was calling customer service to let them know what happened. And again, as I said, it did happen on multiple accounts for me, not just one. But it was a super easy and quick process. I was really surprised at how fast it was. And the customer service representative was super duper helpful and super kind. It happened in another state that I don't even live in. So they could see that it wasn't me that did the transactions and went ahead and put everything back on my account, which is awesome. I also had the customer service rep change my phone numbers on all accounts that were affected. The third step that I took was, even though this only happened at one drugstore, I went through and changed all of my accounts. So now I got to learn new phone numbers, but that's totally fine. And then the fourth step I took was to be extra proactive, and I highly recommend you do this, even if you're not necessarily worried about this, because we all think that these types of things aren't going to happen to us. And you might even be watching this video and you're not a content creator and you think, well, that's not going to happen to me. Content creators are more targeted, which we are for sure. That's why I recommend, if you do create content, that you take these steps. But even if you don't, just be proactive. It's just peace of mind to me. Went through and changed all of my passwords, even though my accounts, my actual, store accounts online weren't hacked. I just went through and took the extra precautions. So this is your friendly reminder to take those extra precautions, even if it wasn't something that you were thinking of. So I'm not bringing you a couponing haul today. I felt this was way more important. Like I said, this has happened to many creators and non-creators. And I've heard people talk about this in videos before, but I've never heard anybody talk about, protecting yourself and maybe what you should do so that you can avoid this happening. Like I said, it is a pain when something like this happens and we got to jump through a couple of hoops to do it. So instead, be more proactive than I was and take the precautions now to hopefully avoid that not happening to you in the future. So I hope by me bringing you this information, it was helpful. You can avoid this happening. Or if you were ever just wondering, like, how do I get a second phone number? Now you know. And just be cautious out there. These types of things happen. It's not going to stop me from being fantastic at couponing and having an awesome time doing it. I love couponing so much. And again, I hope this was helpful and gave you some information maybe that you weren't thinking of. Or if you're one of those people that's extra proactive and extra cautious and you've already got these in place, kudos to you. I wish I would have, but like I said, everything is a learning lesson. And when you know better, you can do better. And so I've made the changes to hopefully avoid this not happening again. And hopefully by me sharing, it will help you to avoid this ever happening to you. All right, that is what I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I appreciate you so much. And I'm going to see you again soon. Have a great day. Bye.